Okay, welcome to week 6. We're here at SMU, and there's been a lot of debate this year about whether we should say go Mustangs, pony up. New administration wants to go Mustangs. None of that really matters. The Big 12 just kicked our ass, and now the ACC play is about to start. Syracuse is here this week. I mean, they need to come out like a herd of wild horses or we're in big trouble. Beat Syracuse, move on, go Mustangs, and pony up.
In the middle of the night, I hear a cornfield cow cry about the moon, no matter what sky I'm laying under. In the eye of a hurricane, when I got one foot in the grave, I'll dig my boots into the dirt, face the rolling thunder. I'm 5 generations of blazing a trail through barbed wire valleys and overgrown dales. I'm barefoot and bareback and born tough as nails. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm 4 fifths of reckless and 1/5 a jack. I push like a crazy, still running its courses with wildflowers and wild horses. It's in the water in my veins, that bread of heaven falls like rain. So I'm taking care of either way, make something out of how I made until I hit you right on glory's train. I'm 5 generations of blazing a trail through barbed wire and valleys and overgrown dales. I'm barefoot and bareback and born tough as nails. I'm 4 fifths of reckless and 1/5 a jack. I push like a daisy through old sidewalk cracks. Yeah, my kind of crazy, still running its courses with wildflowers and wild horses. I'm 5 generations of blazing a trail through barbed wire and valleys and overgrown dales. I'm barefoot and bareback and born tough as nails. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm 4 fifths of reckless and 1/5 a jack. I push like a daisy through old sidewalk cracks. Yeah, my kind of crazy, still running its courses with wildflowers and wild horses. Yeah, my kind of crazy, still running its courses with wildflowers and wild horses. Wildflowers and wild horses.
All right, boys, welcome into week 6. We got the Sooners back this week. We were out in the desert last week, a lot of great matchups, and we brought a friend back from the desert. Welcome into the show, Keith Beal. How we doing?
We're good. I'm just like I said in Vegas. I'm so glad I was the only one that went with Notre Dame. Got coach fired and everything.
That was a big winner there. Good grief.
That was a huge W. Yeah, you called it.
Oh, man. Yeah. With that, let's look and see what we did last week, Mike.
Kurt and I did okay.
I mean, Kurt, a couple of winning records there. I think that might be my first losing record of the season. Hopefully the slide has not begun there.
Yeah, but, I'm definitely closing the gap. Starting out 0-5, and so I'm liking that. Just a couple wins away of catching you, Wes.
I was not sad to see SC lost in the final seconds there. That didn't bother me at all. Arkansas was a shocker. My goodness.
That wasn't just a loss. That was a complete program collapse.
That was a train wreck, and you knew it after about the first, maybe the first half of the first quarter. That ticket was in the trash can immediately. It was just ridiculous. And Alabama, Georgia, and Oregon and Penn State, those are both just really good games overall.
I was surprised. I didn't think Alabama had a quarterback, but apparently they've got maybe a little bit of a quarterback.
Pretty good. You look pretty good.
Yeah, Alabama's just in Georgia's head. I mean, it's just at this point. I mean, if Georgia can't beat them this year, I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but
yeah, kind of crazy.
Okay, let's go on to our little segment of
I like that. That's pretty nice.
That's good.
That's kind of catchy. Yeah, I need to have that as my new. Need to add that as my new ringtone, perhaps something like that.
Good one.
So, all right. So the reason why we added this segment is that I have a lifelong collection of autographed baseballs. I have just about 700 of them, and there's celebrities, presidents, football, mostly baseball, but just a whole lot of famous people with their autographs on baseballs. So, picked one out for this week, and I think this is a perfect one, being that the Sooners have Kent State coming in town. And so I have a autograph on a baseball, which is extremely rare. It's worth maybe the most money of any baseball I have in my collection, which is pretty surprising. I have some good ones. But this gentleman, and I'll let you guys kind of guess, he passed away when he was just 32 years old. He is a Kent State alum. No proof that he actually graduated, but he was a student there for a few years. And feel free to jump in at any point. He was the 4th overall pick in the 1968 Major League Baseball draft, and an absolute legend.
Is he a Yankees catcher?
Yes. Who might that be?
He died in a plane crash or a helicopter crash.
This gentleman, unfortunately, wore number 15 for the New York Yankees. That number is retired, and he has
Thurman Munson.
Thurman Munson, yes. Plaque in Monument Park. He did pass away in 1979 during an off game. They had a day off after they played the White Sox, and he was practicing takeoffs and landings at Akron Canton Airport. And on one of the landings, he made a misjudgment, didn't put the flaps down on the wing. Wing hit a tree, plane crashed. The two guys that he was with, one was an instructor. They did get out of the plane with injuries and burns, but Thurman was trapped. What they initially thought, and this is kind of morbid, but what they initially thought was he was trapped in the pilot's seat from the fuselage kind of collapsing on him, and he couldn't get out. But after they did an autopsy, they determined that he actually broke his neck, and he was paralyzed in that moment. And so what he thought was he couldn't get out, he actually couldn't move. And then the plane caught fire, and that was it. But so it's extremely rare autograph of his. What makes this particular ball expensive is that Thurman signed quite a bit of balls and pictures and whatnot during the 70s and late 60s. But this is a documented 1979 Yankees team signed ball. Being that he died during the middle of the season, it makes it extremely rare. Now, the way they can find out it was actually signed in 79 is that they look at the total of the players that have autographs on the ball. And there are typically 1 to 2 names that only played on that team, whether it be a rookie, whether it be a relief pitcher or something like that. So this is fully authenticated as a 79 ball, which makes it many thousands of dollars, actually. And I have it here.
Let's see it.
I'm going to pull this out. It's on an official, and it's got toning, but it is actually right here, right below the Rawlings. Right below the Rawlings on the very top. It's very faded, but
Okay.
Thurman Munson, if you can make that out, right below the Rawlings. So
And you're touching this with your fingers, like you're not using a glove. This is the most expensive ball you have. Like
for the
I feel like
sake
this
of
should
the
be the Stanley
podcast,
Cup.
yes.
Wow,
And
that's
that
a
ball can
commitment.
squeeze out of your hands, and then I got a problem with 2 dogs here. So, but yeah, you have a point. Absolutely. So
That's awesome.
That's a
so
cool
it's
ball.
a 79 ball. So that's what it is. So, but he's an absolute legend, and I've had other Thurman Munson items, but that's the only autograph I have of his. So there you go.
Thurman Munson signed Gertz balls.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good leadoff right there.
Wes, that's going to get you 10 thumbs up and at least 100 likes. So
All right. On that note, let's talk about the picks for this week. Let's go start with my ponies, or maybe I should say my Mustangs. I'm following the new administration's rules on what to say. It's not pony up anymore. Apparently, it's go Mustangs. We've got Syracuse plus 16.5 at SMU, under over 58.5. Think about that one, Kurt.
All right. So Syracuse at SMU. Syracuse has lost 6 straight against the spread. They just had a miserable loss to Duke, losing their quarterback, 2 weeks ago. I didn't think it would affect them as greatly as it did because the defense collapsed as well. But they only scored 3 points, and that was a home game, by the way. I just don't think Syracuse has any kind of offense. As much as I think Syracuse is giving up way too many points here, I just don't think they're going to be able to score. So I'm looking at kind of a 45-10 kind of game. So I think SMU will cover that 16.5 quite easily.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. Syracuse, I mean, they racked up some yards, but they could never get it past the 40, and they punted time after time, right? So I see this as hitting the under. I think SMU wins. They probably even cover, but SMU hasn't given me so much confidence this year. So I'm not going to mess with that spread and just take the under 58.5.
my turn, Wes.
Yeah, go for it, Keith.
All right. Well, SMU is going to cover. They're going to pony up. We're going to go politically incorrect, and they're going to do it. I had the article in the Wall Street Journal, so they're set. They're good to go. So SMU, put it on there. They're going to cover.
Okay, Kurt, I'm calling you out on your stats there because Syracuse 2 weeks ago went into Clemson and beat Clemson. So they had to have covered that game. They beat them pretty handily. And you were right about that. They did lose their quarterback in that game, which I think led to a disaster last week at home against Duke. But, I mean, I just don't have a lot of confidence in that SMU secondary is pretty bad right now. I think SMU will win. 16.5 seems like a lot of points. I bet Syracuse gets it back together again. So I'm actually going with Syracuse in this game. Move on to number 2. Man, this is a big one here. And it's about like the same setup as last year. Alabama coming off a win against Georgia. And who's coming to town? Vandy plus 10.5 against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Over under of 57. What do you like here, Kurt?
All right, so I do like the over here, over 57. And just to correct myself, yeah, SMU has lost 6 straight against the spread, but I do feel like that ends this Saturday. So just to correct myself.
Right.
Yeah, so Vandy getting 10.5 at Alabama, the total being 57. I like the over. Vandy did upset Alabama in 2024, hugely high scoring, 40-35 final. And Vandy was a 23-point dog in that game. So, I mean, I think we're going to have a shootout here. Vandy likes to score. Alabama's coming in hot versus that win against Georgia. I think we're going to be looking at kind of a high scoring affair. So I'm going on my gut here, over 57.
Yeah, I started off going with Vandy and I switched to the over. I love Diego Pavia. I love what Vandy is doing. I think that they even have a chance of winning outright. But I was really impressed with Alabama this last weekend, and I just am not quite willing to think. Maybe I was too quick to say Alabama was in trouble. So I'm going to take the over 57 because I think both these teams are going to put up points, and we'll chalk up another W and get me over that 500 mark. Keith?
Alabama's on the revenge tour. As Vandy's to where the wheels all came off. So they're going to destroy them, absolutely destroy them. So we need Alabama to get all the revenge games out of them before they play us. So Alabama's going to run it up on them bad.
Nice.
So Diego Pavia came into this season and then said the reason he wanted to come back so bad is he wants to win a national championship with Vanderbilt. And it was hard not to kind of laugh at that this summer, but the way they've started out, it's been very impressive. Last year, they lost to Georgia State before they came back and surprised Alabama. This year, they beat the holy shit out of them. I think it was like 71-20. They like to score a lot of points. They can score a lot of points. I think they keep this thing close. I'm not willing to say Vandy's going to win this, so I'm just going to go with the over on this one.
Smart man.
Okay, so next one up, we have Miami minus 4.5 points at Florida State. Under over is 54.5. This was going to be where game day was going, and they did an audible because Florida State lost to Virginia. So anyway, that's the setup. What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah, so there's one glaring trend that I saw here in that these two teams play every year. And 8 of the last 10 times these teams have played each other, the home team has lost against the spread. So whoever's favored, the other, it's pretty remarkable just looking at that. So, I mean, I think Miami coming in there, Miami just plays big in big games. Florida State's obviously coming off of that difficult loss. I like Miami minus 4.5. I think they're going to come in and take care of business and make it 5-0.
Yeah, I took Miami as well. I didn't love it. I first had the under, but then I was just betting too many unders for the week. So I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then I went and looked. And other than the first game of the year when Florida State surprised us all and beat Bama, they played nobody until they sort of played somebody in Virginia, but they're not that much, and they got whooped. So I'm not convinced that Florida State is quite as good. I think that Castellanos had a heck of a first game, surprised everybody. Alabama got shocked, but I think that Florida State's not quite that good. I think Carson Beck is good. I think Miami defense is very good, and I would not be shocked if Florida State doesn't even score 10 points.
The bad boys.
You know what?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Your show. It's your show.
You're up next, man. You're up next. I screwed up.
The bad boys of Miami are back. I think Florida State caught Alabama looking ahead and all that. I don't think Florida State's very good. They proved that with Virginia. I'm with I think Florida State's going to struggle to score, and I think Miami's going to take full advantage of that. And Miami's on a mission to run the ACC table. So I'm thinking they're going to cover easily.
Okay. Here's where I get to do a Lee Corso to you guys. Not so fast, my friends. Let me be the only one that picks Florida State this week. I think they just got ambushed against Virginia. Sometimes you come out on a Friday night and you don't have your fastball. It's just, it's a tough night to play a week earlier. I think Florida State comes out ready to play this game. I don't know if they win this game, but But I think they'll keep it close, and I think they'll cover. So let's go on to.
You don't sound too confident there for somebody to say, not so fast, my friends. Well, I think they might keep it close. I mean, you gotta like put your foot down if you like them. But I know it's only
I'm not going to pick them to win,
I mean,
but I think it's just a classic case of one of those. They had a really good week against Alabama. They've been fine. They kind of fell asleep at the wheel, and I think they'll be back. Who knows? And Miami might wipe the floor. I've been wrong before.
You are leading in picks, so I don't think we should give you too much. I'm over here giving my whatever my guesses, and I'm sucking. I'm giving up on that word. That wasn't happening.
Okay, game number 4, Texas -6.5 at Florida, over 43.5.
all right. So I mean, this one was really easy for me to handicap. Like I said last week, and I believe I said the week before, Florida just cannot score. They just have trouble putting the ball in the end zone. Texas is going to get there 28-35. Texas 1-3 in the Arch era. I mean, leading into the OU Texas game, they want to have a solid win. They're going to get it here. -6.5, honestly, probably should be about 11.5. Florida's offense overall is ranked 115th in FBS. So they're just a mess. So Texas is going to get theirs. They're going to cover quite easily, I think. So Texas -6.5.
I don't hate that. I went with the under 43.5, and that's a low 43.5. But I think we have two very good defenses. Florida, they held Miami to very little until the last 4-6 minutes of that game. I think that they're going to probably throw enough at Texas. I think Texas is going to have a tough time on the road again. And I think Texas wins. I think they're the better team, and they probably even cover, but I'm not going to take a probably cover when I think that Florida may not score a point against this Texas defense because they've got nothing. I mean, their defense has a better chance of scoring than their offense does next week.
That's a good point. Yeah, especially with Arch, right? Prone to have some errant throws.
A little sidearm action, yeah. Keith, what do you think?
Florida is this week's Arkansas. I think they're at a dumpster fire. Napier, he'll get fired after this game. They can't score. I like the under too, but I'm going to turn it into Texas is going to cover pretty easily, and then follow up SEC next dumpster fire is Auburn. So after that, so the Florida coach is going to be in trouble after this loss, and then it's going to move on to somebody else. So
nice.
There we go, Wes.
Man, I wanted to pick Florida so bad here. Really did. I want to get, this is I feel like it's Billy Napier's last stand, although I think he's really out at this point regardless. I think all the Florida fans are excited to see Texas come in for the first time ever. Both of these defenses are really good. Texas may be elite. So let's go with the under here. Let's keep it simple. 43.5 is a low number, but Florida is consistently low, and Texas hasn't scored much either. So I feel pretty comfortable with that. Game number 5, Kent State plus 45.5 at Oklahoma. Over is 53.5. Kurt?
So before I get to my my pick here, just one more note. As we're talking about Thurman Munson earlier, I did look, and they actually unveiled a statue on campus of Thurman Munson just this last week. So it happened September 27th. Yeah, it was like this world-renowned sculptor, and they had a whole thing, and they had Thurman's widow there and his family. But I had no idea, but I knew I was picking his baseball, and sure enough, they had a big event on campus. So shout out to Kent State for recognizing him all these years later. So on Kent State, I mean, they had at least a couple, games against marquee teams. They got just drubbed 66-10 at Florida State. They also lost at Tech 62-14. So which tells me that they're getting a touchdown or two, but they're also giving up a ton of points to big teams. And when I see a number like 53.5, I mean, I think the Sooners are going to finally bust out on offense. I know we got Michael Hawkins in there, and it's great that he's going to get a ton of reps, which I think will be great for him. But we're going to get 45 to 55 on our own. They may get 10. So 45, 55 to 10 final. So over 53 is just it's a lock for me.
Nice. Yeah, if Mateer was playing, the over would be a lock for me as well. I'm just not confident that Hawkins is going to score it because I think Kent State probably doesn't score at all. I think they're worse than Illinois State. So I think our defense will be focused. Maybe they kick like a 60-yard field goal and get 3 points. I'm just not fully convinced that Hawkins and those receivers will be quite there. They've had a bye week, so maybe they will. I'd love to be wrong on this one and have the over hit. OU definitely wins, but I'm not going to play with that spread.
Kurt went through it. Kent State's on the pay the athletic department budget swing. So the Florida State, us, so they're taking some big checks home. I think all the energy in Norman is going to be the 1975 national championship celebration. So that's going to take all the energy out of the stadium. And I think Hawkins is going to struggle a little bit. And I think OU is going to destroy them, but that's a big point spread and to cover. And I think offense will struggle, and then everyone will complain all week on sports radio about the OU Texas game. So, but the good thing is OU is going to win, Texas is going to win, and we're going to have game day at the Cotton Bowl. So there you go.
Did I miss your pick in there somewhere? What was your pick?
Oh, Kent State's OU's not going to cover. They're not going to cover.
Oh, you're taking the points. Okay. All right.
So
interesting. All right.
Okay, Keith.
Sorry about that.
Keith, I hate to do this. Keith, I hate to do this to you, but as we discussed in Vegas, you guys know how much I like to be right. It's not the 1975 national championship they're honoring this week. They did that the Michigan game. This week they're honoring the 1985 national champions.
Same thing.
Are you telling me that we like to win championships in years that end in 5? Is that what you're saying?
Sounds like it.
Ooh.
I bet somebody
Too soon.
Somebody has
Just
to take
don't pull up the 1995 team.
And we won in 55.
We don't talk about 1995 on this program. Okay. So, Kent State, I was going to go to Kent State, take the drone, fly it over their stadium because we'll, of course, never play there. Thought it might be cool to see something different, but I got a little too hammered that I was supposed to do that before Philadelphia weekend and didn't do that. So that's why you have SMU instead. So didn't get a chance to see their campus. I guess I wouldn't have seen the Thurman Munson statue anyway. But I mean, that's the most interesting thing I would say about Kent State because there are 136 FBS teams and they're number 136 easily. And like you said about Illinois State, they're probably 100. There may be 50 CS teams that are better. I don't know how you guys are not picking OU on this one. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. We could play Jet New at quarterback, and I think we would still cover. So give me Oklahoma here.
Nice.
All right. Wes, I thought we were going to have a visor toss there for a second.
Okay. I'm going to toss my visor now.
You were like this.
All right. I'm not sure what happened with the season record totals, but those are completely wrong up there. And I had updated them, and that's what I texted you about, Mike. But are you trying to project that I have a losing record?
I don't even know how those got there.
Because
I'm accurate to me.
I'm 17-7-1. Anyway, and look at this. Maybe Kurt did it because look at Kurt's numbers.
Mike, you had it correct. You had it correct on the picks from last week.
Right? I don't know what happened. Like
it was correct earlier today, and I just updated it again. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now we got the right ones there. Yeah.
Looks like you're about 1 week away from relinquishing the lead. You're hanging on by 2 games here.
Well, we've got a lot of differing picks here, so it in one way or another, either the gap closes or extended here.
I like going 5-0. I think it's my time. I think I should go 5-0.
Man, you're an under guy this week. Look at that.
I had actually to begin. I had 4 unders, and I was like, "That's ridiculous. I can't do 4 unders. That's aggressive."
Yeah.
But I do think that Miami game might go under. But I think we'll see.
All right. Well, Should be another fun weekend. I mean, we don't have a lot of top 25 matchups out there, but we're setting up, as Keith, as you said, we're setting up for, I think, OU Texas and College game day. Actually,
and it's MLB playoff week. We got the playoffs. So
Are the Yankees playing?
Yeah. Did you take your Astros hat off and you put on another team? So exactly who are you following?
we're on to option 3 here, and now that I know Hunter watches the program, he's going to be pissed, and I'm not wearing Reds. He's very
Reds
excited.
Do you have a
Sox?
Reds visor?
Yeah, he's not gonna invite me back to the Cincinnati Reds Champions Club. So maybe I should take it off.
Yeah, the Reds. Well, the Reds are one of the original teams, right? I mean, going way back. So
Well, they're playing the Dodgers.
yeah, that'll be good. So let's see how baseball shakes out.
Finally,
we'll be ready for
episode. Baseball.
We'll be ready for another episode of Who Signed My Balls next week.
Absolutely.
Yes, we will.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Let's have a great weekend.
See you guys
Keith.
Saturday.
All right,
See you
thank you.
Saturday.
See you guys.
See you guys.